Morning YouTube, it is I, Danielle, better known as Danielle, a happy medium, and I'm here in the sun, which is really nice, and off the back of a viewer's question and off the back of a question that was asked of me this week, I want to talk a little bit about, am I making it up when I'm working with the spirit world, and how can I tell that I'm making it up? So it is probably one of the biggest questions in the mediumship movement when it comes to mediumship and images, voices, feelings, knowings, smelling, whatever clear range that you're using there. And for the undeveloped or the budding medium out there, or the medium who's just trying to sort of work things out, it can be quite a confusing time with connections to whether or not you're making it up. And for me personally, when I first started out, I was very much like that. I wasn't always sure what was mine, what was the spirit world, so, was it my imagination, these types of things. So the best advice that I can give to you when you feel like you may be making it up, or you may think that it's your imagination, test it. That's the only way that you're going to improve your confidence. It's the only way that you're going to improve your skill set. It's the only way that you're going to enhance your clear range. It's the only way that you're going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you give out your mouth is actually coming from the spirit world and is given to the sitter in front of you. And you'll be looking at me going, well, test, what do you mean by that, Danielle? Test. So for the information that you receive, you give it to the sitter as the way you get it. If it's a no, then you need to learn to do the work and know of the video I've put in the YouTube channel. I will add it to this link as well, and go back and get more information, because if you've got the spirit world there with you, there'll be more information that comes in there to validate and change your no to a yes. If it's a yes, and it continues to be a yes as you're given the information, your confidence will start to rise. The reason it'll rise for is because you'll be like, yeah, it's right, it's got to be right, so therefore it's got to be coming from the spirit world, so therefore I cannot be making it up, which is in short your answer to your question. If it's been taken, if it's right, true and accurate, then it's coming from the spirit world. The only thing you have to remember here is making sure that you wait for the communicator or the loved one, which is to me and you, because ultimately the loved one needs to be with you before you start giving your evidence. Otherwise you're working on a psychic link. How do you work out if you've got the communicator with you? Wait, watch for the image, watch for the feeling, look for the communicator, listen for the words. For me, who's a clairaudience medium, I hear Dad shouted in, so I know that I've got Dad wanting to work with me, or Dad who's took my mind. Thereafter, everything that comes into my mind after that is the communicator. The only time I'm working on a psychic link is when there's nobody there with me. I wait that extra couple of seconds for the loved one. A lot of mediums jump straight into the psychic link instead of waiting for the loved one to turn up, or feel that loved one, or see that loved one, and then start giving their communication. And that is one of the biggest factors I can give you when working with the spirit world, is making sure you wait for your communicator. Otherwise you're going to be working on a psychic link, which means you're taking the information from the auric field. Making sure you walked yourself over to the spirit world. So by that I mean, if you haven't already seen that video, that's also in the YouTube channel. I'll put the link in for that there as well. Is making sure that you've walked yourself over, so within your mind you would start saying, who's there? Who's looking to talk to me? What's your story? Step forward. Blend with my mind. These are just some of the hints and tips I can give you with whether or not you think you may or may not be making it up. For them who think they are making it up, it's a lack of trust. It's the fact that you can't quite understand why it is that your mediumship hasn't developed enough, and through practicing will only gain you the trust of your team, working with your spirit guides, learning to work with them and play the games that I spoke about on some of the lives that I've done. By doing that, you build a relationship with this guide, whether you know that guide or not. It doesn't make any difference, as long as you know that you're working with the best of intentions and you're working with the right intent with the spirit world. Intention's everything in mediumship. From what kind of energy you connect to what person you connect to what kind of link you pull in. It's all intention based. For me personally, I've seen my mediumship evolve massively over the last 5 years, from where I used to bring the very sort of generalised information of, the little grandma and, 5'2" with grey hair, to pulling links where people are jumping off train tracks. And that's just a constant evolvement of my mediumship. My intentions have changed for my work. I look for information that's different now, other than the information I looked for 5 years ago. But in the beginning, I wasn't ready to look for that. Why? Because I still had some learning to do. I still had to trust more in the spirit world and in my communications. So don't worry about it if you're still sort of learning and moving along that path. Know that the path will alter and change and grow and evolve as you do. I see so many mediums rush and panic and then get themselves into a jam and can't get out. And I was one of them mediums, you know. I was up and on my feet quite early on, you know. It's 4 years, and in 4 years I've done so much. And it's not always a good thing, that I got to be honest with you on that. The pressure you place upon yourself is massive. And in the video I put up on Monday, I talked a little bit about the mediumship path and the path that you walk. So for them who talk to me about imagination, or whether or not it's the spirit world, loads of kiddies running around. I love kids, actually. It's so nice for you to understand why loads of kids, if there's a lot of background noise, do take my apologies on that there. But yeah, if it's attention, if it's imagination, or whether it's got something to do with, you know, you working for the spirit world, best thing to do, test it. You aren't going to know unless you test it. You aren't going to know unless you get up and actually make your mouth move. You don't know whether or not you're going to go, if you don't go to that open circle. You don't know if you don't do that sitting. You don't know if you're going to get on that rostrum. You got to take a rest. You got to take that next step. And know that even if you fail and you look like an absolute wally and nobody takes it, at least you got up. At least you tried. And that's all that the spirit world ever asks of anybody who work in the mediumship movement, to try. Try your very best. And they will continue to back you up, and they will continue, and where you may fail that time, next time you will be successful. And the only way by doing that is trying, practicing in them types of things that I've spoke about in this video. So for them who are watching this video, I hope you're well. I'm, like I say, in the park. So just doing a few videos for a different sort of look and a different sort of styling, and I need to be out and about a little bit more at the moment. Feeling a little penned in. So for those who are, sorry, there was somebody stood behind me there. For those who are watching this video, please do leave me a like and a comment. Maybe subscribe to the channel, or share it around if you want to. And hopefully I'll see you all very, very soon.